If you throw out the 1915 and 1916 Philadelphia versions, the 1979 Oakland A's were by far the worst team in franchise history. They finished last in the Old American League West with a 54 and 108 record, and they also finished last in the American League in batting 80 OPS plus, pitching 85 ERA plus, and fielding 678 defensive efficiency and 972 fielding percentage. Tough to win much at all when you tank at all three phases of the game, and the 1979 A's bore that out. Not to say that the A's didn't show some glimmers of hope. For one thing, rookie Rickey Henderson appeared in 89 games and stole 33 bases. Youngster Dwayne Murphy hit 11 home runs and posted a solid 116 OPS plus. Catcher Jeff Newman cranked up the power to smack 22 home runs in 143 games. There was some young arms with the potential too, even if they posted ugly-ish numbers in 1979. Rick Langford, Mike Norris, Matt Keogh, Steve McCatty, Brian Kingman, and John Henry Johnson all look like they might be decent or better big league starters someday. But there was no sugarcoating the abyss that the 1979 season in Oakland, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better embodiment of the woes than second baseman Mike Edwards. Edwards came to the A's in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates on the outset of the 1978 season and proceeded to hit .273 with 27 stolen bases. The peripherals weren't great, but it was a solid start. He also tied the record for the most unassisted double plays in a game, too. See 1979 Topps number 201 for proof. But man, 1979 was rough. A slash line of .233, .263, .280 was good for a 51 OPS plus and a negative 1.5 WAR. It wasn't just batting struggles that killed Edwards either, as a healthy portion of the latter bit can be attributed to defensive misadventures. So a year after he was honored with that record-breaker card, Edwards celebrated his break-in 1979 season with a 1980 Topps card that pretty much sums up those A's. There is Edwards, 1 foot planted on second, both hands in front of his shaded face, apparently waiting for a ball no one could see. Might just be one of those rare cases of a ground ball getting lost in the sun. And if we're being honest here, it looks like there is at least a good chance that Edwards will land on his can in the next frame, as it will be that he'll find this magic ball. Same as the A's. They discovered the magic ball just 54 times and ended up on their cans 108 times. I thought about this card when the 2018 A's found themselves readying for battle against the New York Yankees in the American League wildcard round. It seemed like a low-rent district for big-dollar Yankees, but fits Oakland pretty well. Over the last couple of decades, the A's have become legendary for exploiting little aspects of the game that others haven't yet noticed, and building that breach into a playoff spot every few years. They've been the forefront of the sabermetrics movement thanks to general manager Billy Beane, and they scrap for every bit of glory they can get. Those A's, the 2018 version that is, weren't good enough to challenge the Houston Astros in the new American League West, but they were good enough to win 97 games and snag that wild card slot. Nothing to sneeze at. So playing with house money, how did the A's propose to take down New York? By developing only relievers to face one of the greatest lineups in the sport. The wild card is a one-game winner-take-all proposition after all, and each reliever should be able to shut down any set of hitters for an inning or two. It's what they do for a living. That plan held together about as long as Mike Edwards' balance in at least one imagined scenario on that 1980 Topps card of his. To be fair, Liam Hendriks did make 8 starts that season. But he also had 17 relief appearances and was used exclusively as a reliever from 2015 to 2017. He drew the wild card start, though, and gave up 2-run dingers to Aaron Judge in the bottom of the first. He made it through the frame without further damage, but his night was done. Lou Trevino came on in the second and held the Yanks scoreless through the fourth, and Sean Kelly did the same in the fifth. Then the wheels came off in the sixth, with New York roughing up Fernando Rodney and Blake Trinan for 4 more runs. It was pretty much over by that point, and the Yanks rolled to a 7-2 victory. And the A's fell hard, just like that imagined next frame for 1980 Topps Mike Edwards. Like our video? Then like our videos and subscribe to our channel. waxpackgods.com.